graduation, Dr. Batagianis, honored class of 1994, ladies and gentlemen. As I look around the stadium and acknowledge the 287 graduates and the hundreds of friends and relatives that have come to wish them well, I say welcome on this warm, gorgeous Sunday afternoon in early June. Welcome to Mishawaka High School and her 117th commencement program. When faced with the alternative of being confined in the warm, humid gymnasium, it is indeed a pleasure to celebrate this commencement this year for these seniors on Steel Field. We have an exciting afternoon ahead of us, and so let us proceed with the program. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce both of our salutatorians, Laura Hildreth, daughter of Jack and Donna Hildreth, and Carrie Stone, daughter of Dennis and Kathleen Stone, who will offer the salutatory addresses.
Okay, our lives are like a book. Each chapter is a new learning experience. Today is the end of one of those learning experiences, and tomorrow is the beginning of another. The past few years have taught us many new things. We have learned the meaning of true friendship and what is involved in keeping and building that friendship. We have found the true meaning of love. We have discovered what sacrifices are associated with that love. We learned skills that have prepared us for the next chapter of our lives. From now on, we must apply what we have learned. We must not be afraid of failure. We must try our hardest in every situation. I'd like to read a poem called Don't Quit by an unknown author. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. And many a failure turns about when you might have won had you stuck it out. Don't give up through the pace seems slow. You might succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when night slipped down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, and silver tint to the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things seem worse that you mustn't quit. Now all of us will probably go our separate ways. I pray that we all may be successful and live the life of our dreams. I love you all and I'll miss you all.
Last night, before I sat down to write what I wanted to say today, I flipped through the pages of last year's yearbook. I was hoping that maybe all of my memories of Mishawaka High School, there on the pages in front of me, would somehow enable me to express what I was feeling. It was then that I realized that what I will miss most about the time here is the security I've always felt. As an underclassman, I always knew where the next year would lead me. In some cases, I even know the classes I was taking or the teachers I would have. For 4 years, I came to school to see the best friends I've ever had. People I've known nearly as long as I've known myself. In class, teachers would lecture or give tests, and at the end of the day, I would go home to my family. Throughout those 4 years, it seemed there was nothing I wanted more than to get to this point, to wear this gown and graduate with my class, and be able to move on with my life. I was so desperate to put my high school years behind me that I didn't stop to think about all I would be leaving behind. I didn't ask myself, where will I be in the years to come? Will life ever be as simple as being able to walk these halls, blindfolded if necessary, or attend a football game and scream as loud as I could? Looking through my yearbook and seeing your faces, all of this hit home. I asked myself, perhaps you're facing the same uncertainties I am, that the security we've been taking for granted all these years will be swept away as soon as we step onto this stage and accept our diplomas. But walking across this stage is also walking into a new phase in our life. Never have we accomplished something more important. Today marks the surrendering of our old lives and old securities and the beginnings of our future. Our parents know this, so do our teachers and our families. They have come here today to see us start our new lives and perhaps remember when they started their own. What they hope for us is what we hope for ourselves, that what our future lacks in security, it more than makes up for in excitement and possibilities, and that although our future may be uncertain, it will never be boring or routine. If I had a wish for the class of 1994, it would be that all of you could have the strength and determination to make your own happiness and peace in life. If I had a wish for myself, it would be that somewhere, sometime in my life, I again find friends as true as you have been. You have been my strength and inspiration, and you will forever remain so. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Carrie. Now to introduce the members of the Mishawaka Board of School Trustees, I present to you the educational leader of our community, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Stella Batagianis.
Thank you, Mr. Trimboli. Members of the board, Mr. Trimboli, graduates, honored guests, colleagues, parents, and friends. We are here today to recognize the class of 1994 for completing the educational requirements for graduation from Mishawaka High School. The members of the Board of School Trustees are the ones ultimately responsible for making the policy decisions that have resulted in a strong educational program, the program that our seniors have now completed. This board devotes long hours to its responsibilities. The board members are dedicated and effective as a board. The board's greatest strength is the willingness to make decisions that are based on what is best for the students in the Mishawaka community. And for this, we are all appreciative. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce at this time the Board of School Trustees. If you would please stand and remain standing, Mr. Emery Petco, President of the Board of School Trustees. Mr. John, go ahead. Mr. John Rokeman, Vice President of the Board. Mrs. Virginia Curry, Secretary of the Board. Mr. Woody Emmons, Member of the Board. And Mrs. Marilyn Schroyer, Member of the Board. Would you please recognize the board as a whole at this time? Thank you. Graduates, everyone has something to say to you today. And as you sit in your seats, squinting in the sun, anxious to hold that diploma that you have worked so hard to earn, you are perhaps not anxious to listen to long speeches. However, I cannot resist a few comments to you. This year's commencement has a special meaning to me, and I would like to share with you a lesson that I'm only now beginning to learn myself, and I hope that you will learn it sooner. I recently received a phone call from one of my own high school classmates, and it was concerning a reunion. It happens to be my reunion, and it happens to be the 25th. And by the way, if you insist on adding, let me say that I did not graduate at age 17, but at age 5, at most. My first reaction to the telephone call was that I could not believe it. 25 years was amazing to me. My next reaction was to feel just a bit old, but only for a moment. But my third reaction, and the most important, was to reflect on how I have used the years. As your high school career draws to a close, these are my wishes for you. 25 years from today, I wish for you as few regrets as possible. Look down the road today and set goals for yourselves. Attain as many of those goals as possible within the priorities that you establish. Appreciate and love your family, your friends, and your community, and yourself. Believe that you can attain your goals and your dreams. Work hard, and you will attain those goals. The years pass too quickly, so live each day to the fullest. Life is not forever. One of my favorite authors is Thoreau, and I would like to share a quotation from Thoreau that is pertinent to today and to the importance of living each moment to the fullest within the context of your priorities. Thoreau said to us, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived." Graduates, I would like for you to do me a favor, please. I would like for you each to call me in 25 years and tell me then how you feel about your 25th reunion, which will be in the process of being planned at Mishawaka High School at that time. Congratulations to each of you, and best wishes to the class of 1994. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Batagianis. In keeping with a policy initiated more than 2 decades ago, the senior class has once more turned to the long list of distinguished Mishawaka High School alumni in search for a commencement speaker. After much deliberation and lengthy consideration, the representatives of the class and the class officers asked me to invite our commencement speaker, Mr. Rick S. Miller. Mr. Miller is a native of Mishawaka. He attended Mary Phillips Elementary and Maine Junior High Schools before attending Mishawaka High School, where he participated in football and baseball for 4 years. He was the junior class vice president and the senior class president before graduating in 1971. He went on to attend Indiana University, Bloomington, and Indiana University School of Law in Indianapolis. From 1977 to 1979, Mr. Miller was a sheriff's deputy with the St. Joseph County Police Department. From 1981 to 1983, he worked security detail at the Governor's Mansion in Indianapolis. Currently, Mr. Miller is an agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. His FBI background encompasses over 11 years of professional experience with a thorough knowledge of investigative guidelines covering the FBI classification of criminal offenses. While assigned to the Indianapolis and Dallas offices, his cases involved kidnap matters, extortion, civil rights, bank robbery, and fraud. While assigned to the New York City office, he concentrated on foreign counterintelligence, including working with sources and conducting, coordinating, and maintaining physical and electronic surveillance. Additionally, his service included acting as an information systems administrator responsible for training and maintenance in the New York office computer systems. He also supervised and managed personnel within the New York office and acted as a liaison to the local state police agency personnel. He serves as an instructor in legal matters pertaining to the FBI operations and provides legal instruction to the local and state police personnel during training seminars. He was promoted to supervisor and transferred to the FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. as an agent attorney advisor, including trial testimony as an expert witness. He is currently assigned supervisor to the FBI office in Baltimore, Maryland. In connection with the FBI Director's initiative to assist local police in eradicating drug abuse and violent crime through the apprehension of individuals committing drug-related criminal offenses. Throughout his FBI career, he has participated in numerous in-service training courses, acted as an FBI fitness instructor, and received several commendations for excellent performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I present to you a distinguished product of Mishawaka High School, our 1994 commencement speaker, Mr. Rick S. Miller. Thank you all. Faculty, graduates, and families, I extend my congratulations to 1994 graduates of Mishawaka High School for your tremendous achievement. I also extend congratulations to your families for their tremendous sustained achievement. Without their support, their encouragement, and their love, none of us would be where we are today. The lights jolted her awake every morning at 6. From her cot, she watched people in the homeless shelter brace for another day. And then fourth grader Laura Lee Summer would sit up and open her books. Alone with her words, in a vagabond childhood, fatherless and sometimes homeless, this was a familiar, comforting place. As she and her mother moved among shelters and welfare hotels in 3 states, Laura Lee turned to library books for solace. This fall, she'll do her reading at Harvard University, which awarded a full scholarship to the 17-year-old from Quincy High School. In an essay for her college application, she wrote, "I learned that wealth is not what I have, rather it is who I am. Being poor, being homeless, having my startled eyes open to blinding lights and long rows of metal cots from which so many strangers were arising. These were not disadvantages, but blessings, because they taught me more about myself." My friends, this was a story written in yesterday's Indianapolis Star. This young lady at age 17 has accomplished so much with so little. Can you imagine the power that you have with all of your talents, your abilities, your blessings, your families, your friends, your support structure? Can you imagine the power that you have to succeed? I cannot tell you how deeply honored and excited I was when Joe, Mr. Trimboli, called me to tell me that you all had selected me to take part in this ceremony. I have the good fortune of being able to say I grew up with Joe. There are many things he taught me, which I won't bore you with, and there are many things we learned together, which I won't embarrass myself or Joe with. Needless to say, Joe and I are old friends. And like old friends, we share many of the same personality traits, values, and beliefs. I would like to share with you one of our beliefs. And if you take nothing else away from this brief 10 minutes or so that I have to share with you, I do hope you remember this. Each one of us can choose the fundamental principles of life. Each one of us must choose the fundamental principles of life. You can choose to be honest, or you can choose to be dishonest. You can choose to be law-abiding, or you can choose to break the law. You can choose to be loyal, or you can choose to be disloyal. You can choose to discriminate because of sex, creed, color, or race, or you can choose not to discriminate. You can choose to respect the rights and opinions of others, or you can choose to ignore them. You can choose to be violent and react violently and become a part of violence and part of the problem, or you can intellectually work your way through life and find your way to be nonviolent, to act upon your beliefs, act upon what is in your mind and what is in your heart. I entered on duty with the FBI through the Indianapolis office, was transferred to Texas, then to New York, to our headquarters in Washington, D.C., and most recently to Baltimore, where I am involved with the FBI's role in combating violent crime. The Department of Justice recently implemented a program which is designed to encourage a multi-agency approach to law enforcement and community revitalization. The FBI's contribution is to coordinate with local police in selected cities around the country to fight the problems of gangs and drug-related violence. And that is what I currently do. Through the use of informants and cooperative witnesses, we do raids into open-air drug markets and execute arrest and search warrants in suspected crack houses. The reason I tell you this is that because growing up in Mishawaka, going to college and law school at IU, serving as a deputy sheriff in here in St. Joe County, serving with the Bureau around the country, I have never before seen the despair and hopelessness I see caused by drug abuse and violent crime. And what can you do about it? Granted, most of you will not be involved in capturing fugitives or matching fingerprints found at a crime scene or exposing an espionage ring. You will, however, be expected to cope with an uncertain economic future, to deal with innumerable social problems like homelessness and illiteracy, and to come up with new ways of doing business in a world made smaller by high-tech communication systems. How can you ensure success in such a world? By choosing the fundamental principles of life. Begin to work on developing the kind of attitude you're going to have about life. Develop a positive attitude. We become what we think about. One of the most important things you can do as you begin to develop a more positive attitude about life is to improve your own self-image. Someone else's label or opinion does not have to become your reality. You have just taken a tremendous step in developing a more positive self-image by completing your high school education. But you cannot stop learning. Education is an ongoing process. It never ends. Your education will help you sort through the complexities you face. You must continue to educate yourselves in order to deal with the complexities that lie ahead. Stay away from people who do not want to do anything and do not want anything out of life. None of us know what any of us can become until we challenge ourselves. It is said that adversity is that particular quality that introduces a person to him or herself. Strive to be with people who are trying to plant themselves, who are trying to grow, people who want to build up and become a main contributor to life and a main participant. Be open to new ideas. Do the most productive thing at all times. Become a giver rather than a taker. Have a goal. If you can find the why for living, you can endure almost any how. My why is my wife, my daughter, my son, my family. What is your why? People focused on nothing in life usually end up accomplishing nothing. So find something that gets you excited, something that gets your adrenaline flowing, something about which you feel great getting up in the morning. I love the Bureau. I love the Bureau for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that I never know for sure what I'm going to be doing on a particular day. And I never know exactly what is going to happen to me on a particular day. I might be serving a warrant, I might be working undercover, or I might just be sitting in the office with a chance to catch up on some paperwork. As one of the old-timers told me once, life in the Bureau is 90% mind-numbing boredom and 10% stark, raving terror.
But the point is that I wake up in the morning and I'm thankful for the opportunity to face the day doing a job I love. So you find a dream and make it a big dream. Be among those who attempt big and run the risk of failure. Remember, if you attempt to do nothing, you will most certainly succeed. What drives you? What is your passion? What do you love to do? What gives you your life? What are your gifts? If you do not know, continue to experiment, and you will get in touch with them. If you have decided that you know what it is you want to do, I want you to think about it and see yourself doing it. Do not concern yourself with how you are going to do it. That is not important. The most difficult thing is holding the vision. That is the most difficult thing. The how will come. You will easily develop the skills, the abilities. You will become what you aspire to. Holding the vision is the most challenging part. That is why it has to be something you love. Do not do it just for the money, because that is not enough. Your goal will become your why for life. And what are your reasons? Why should you get what you want out of life? When you get down, and you will get down, you can look at the reasons, and as you think about them, they will empower you. And you will go back out into the arena, and you will begin competing again. Demand more from yourself. Someone once said that many people die at age 21 and do not get buried until age 61. They are walking around dead. They are content, but they are not fulfilled. So start demanding more from yourself. Push yourself. Harness your will. Take risks. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for your life. Your life is worth it. Look at your life and know there are unlimited possibilities for you. Know that you are powerful. Know that there is something you brought into the universe that if you do not give it, it will not be given. If you do not share it, it will not be shared. If you do not say it, it will not be said. If you do not do it, it will not get done. And in a historical context, the world will never be the same again. Every one of you here has a reason for being here. I do not care what you have done. I do not care what you have experienced. The last chapter to your life has not yet been written. There is a lot more living to you. There is a lot more living to your life than you have experienced. The major key to your future is you. Everything that you have can help you. Your health, the support of family and friends, money, but these are minor things. The major key to your future is you. You are the difference. You are powerful. You have more going for you than you realize. Commit yourself to being unstoppable. Make a commitment to win. If you want to succeed in life, you have to get rid of the negatives that are holding you back. You have to give up negative friends, negative behavior, negative habits, and procrastination, and anything that prevents you from realizing the highest that you have within you. Share with people of your caliber who share your larger vision. Dare to be a leader in your field. No matter what profession you choose, be a leader and accept that challenge of responsibility. Be the best at what you do and set a clear and compelling example for others by your actions, not just by your words. Let others around you see that you are capable of dealing with problems and that you are not afraid to venture into uncharted territory. Let them see that you consistently maintain the highest personal and professional standards. The old saying, there aren't any free lunches in life, has a corollary, and that is, what you withhold from life, life withholds from you. Plan what you want to do. Develop self-discipline. Maintain the highest professional and personal standards and never compromise them. Never compromise your principles and beliefs because it seems easier than fighting for what you know is right or for financial gain. Take responsibility for what you want to take place in your life. You must be self-motivated, self-reliant. Be about the business of creating something worthwhile in your life. And do not let the fear of failure discourage you from doing what you want to do. Lee Iacocca was fired from Ford by a Ford. I now drive one of Lee Iacocca's visions, something Fortune magazine recently called Chrysler's cash cow, the minivan. Failure makes you go a step higher. Failure gives you strength. Failure drives you to greater success. If you do not meet with failure, you are probably not challenging your abilities. But no matter what you decide to do with your lives, I encourage you, I implore you to consider sharing your talents with the rest of society, even if it is for only part of your career. Public service seems to be a dying idea. People are more interested in making money than in serving to create a better society. You will be greatly enriched and rewarded by performing some volunteer work using your particular talents. And I encourage you to give of yourself freely to better the community in which you live. You are going to continue to live in this society. Unless you put forth the effort to improve it, you will inevitably pay the price for the choices you have made. Having completed your high school education, you will have new challenges. Financial concerns, limited opportunities, high unemployment, loneliness, failure, and a whole host of others. But through it all, the only things that really count are the things that happen inside of you. Life is easy when you realize that you control your own destiny, your own future. You must believe in yourself and do the best you can, and do not worry about the rest. And do not demand that life must be fair. You must deal with what is, period. Remember, you are greater than you think. You have the ability to change the quality of life. Whatever you are seeking, it is also seeking you. I took a street survival course recently at our training facility. One of the things I learned was to talk positively to myself. You can use this concept also. When you get through a bad situation, or any situation in which your self-confidence is shaken, congratulate yourself. Concentrate on messages like this. I did it. I did it well. I dealt successfully with some tough problems. I can feel more comfortable and work even more smoothly and self-confidently next time. I can control my situation. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, who, speaking before a group such as yourselves, once said, I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you're nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth, and always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as the basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You are going to be deciding as the days, as the years unfold, what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. Set out to do it well. Remember, by the power you have, by the power this group has, you can change the world. So do it. And as you do it, remember, choose the principles of life. Thank you, and congratulations.
Rick, we thank you for your meaningful message and your sharing of some memorable experiences that have highlighted your remarkable career. But most of all, we thank you for taking time from your busy schedule just to be with us on this special day. Surely, everyone here will agree that the tradition of selecting outstanding graduates to address our senior class has been a sound one. Again, we have proven that Mishawaka High School alumni are something special. Thanks, Rick. This afternoon's commencement, as I stated earlier, is our 117th in a long, proud history of Mishawaka High School. The South Bend Tribune on May 26, 1894, described the commencement exercises. As such, the paper stated that the class of 94 was comprised of 10 members. It was one of the largest that had yet graduated from a public school at that time. It stood well in scholarship, deportment, and it was indeed a credit to this class. The class colors were green and white. The flower was the carnation. Their motto, "Our harvest is not yet reaped." Their commencement speaker talked and encouraged the class to go out into the world and reap. 50 years later, 1944, Mishawaka High School held its 67th annual commencement program in the gymnasium. That year we graduated 291 students. The entire theme of commencement was very solemn. It was a message of war and the price of victory and what it would take to win the war. Many of those young men that graduated from that class made the ultimate sacrifice. They gave to their country, gave to our country with their lives. Now, another 50 years later, times are much better. And here we are to celebrate with the class of 1994. In my final remarks to you, you're an excellent body of students who are assembled here today. And I would like to leave you with some of the most important teachings of Mishawaka High School. I ask all of you to have a mission that matters. Your life's goal is the core to your success. Be a dream builder. Look beyond the problems to the solutions. Look beyond the obstacles to the opportunities. Look beyond the impossible to the possibilities. And remember that only he who attempts the ridiculous can achieve the impossible. When others doubt you, be courageous. When others quit, demonstrate strength and determination. And whatever you may choose to do with your life, do it better than it's ever been done before. I wish you the very best in all you do, and I would hope that you would always remember good old Mishawaka High School. With this, I invite the class of 1994 to rise. present you, the class of 1994, to the world. The world is at your fingertips, and I entrust in all of you the great responsibility of being its caretaker. Bless you all. Accepting the class of 1994 and responding for the Board of School Trustees is the President of our board, Mr. Emery Petco.
Thank you, Mr. Cabroli. Dr. Patagianis, Mr. Miller, members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Eby, Mr. Tobolsky, families and friends of the graduates in the class of 1994. As I was preparing my remarks for today, I found it most difficult to express in a few short words the pride felt by all of us for this group of 287 seniors who graduate today. The class of 1994 has brought considerable distinction not only to the Mishawaka High School, but to the Mishawaka community. The city of Mishawaka is a great place to live. Many of the city leaders are graduates of Mishawaka High School. And many of you waiting to receive your diplomas today are our leaders of the future. The class of 1994 has distinguished itself in many ways. Academic honors have been numerous. Community values, such as the food drive, continue to grow. And athletic accomplishments have been many. And if you would forgive a personal thought, even though the school year for the seniors is complete, there are 7 very special young ladies among the graduates who will bring more honor to Mishawaka High School as they compete in the softball semi-state at Maryville next Saturday. As I mentioned earlier, one of the things that makes Mishawaka so special is its community values. The pride that the graduates and their families share today started at a very early age. As the class of 1994 started your formal education, most of you started in kindergarten. From an unknown author, I would like to read you the following. The title, All I Really Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten. All I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sand pile at Sunday school. These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go into the world, watch for traffic. Hold hands. Stick together. Be aware of wonder. Remember the little seed in the styrofoam cup. The roots go down and the plant goes up and nobody really knows how or why. But we're all like that. Goldfish and hamsters and white mice and even the little seed in the styrofoam cup. They all die. So do we. And then remember the Dick and Jane books. For the first word you learned, the biggest word of all, look. Everything you need to know is in there somewhere. The golden rule and love and basic sanitation. Ecology and politics and equality and sane living. Take any of these items and extrapolate it into sophisticated adult terms and apply it to your family life or your work or your government or your world, and it holds true and clear and firm. Think what a better world it would be if we, the whole world, had cookies and milk about 3 o'clock every afternoon, and then lay down with our blankies to take a nap. Or if all the governments had as a basic policy, always put things back where you find them and clean up your own mess. It is still true, no matter how old you are, when you go out into the world, it is best to hold hands and stick together. Apparently, the class of 1994 learned these lessons well. As an example, I would like to read a poem from The Browse, which is a collection of writings by Mishawaka High School students. The author of this poem is a classmate of yours, a graduate of this class. The title of the poem, An End to the Hunger. There is a hunger that is spread over the land. It is a desire to love one another and to reach out a helping hand. There is a craving for hope in everyone's heart, a dream that we can all come together as brothers, and a wish puts each of us right at the start. Another request is that of peace, but the war of differences is too powerful, and we cannot become one until we cease. This hunger will never stop if we just keep it a dream. The gift to give the world would be for everyone to work as a team. The author, Tara Yates. In conclusion, I would say to the class of 1994, be proud of your accomplishments, cherish this moment with your family and friends, and best of luck in future endeavors. It is with great pride that in behalf of the Mishawaka Board of School Trustees, I accept for graduation the class of 1994. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Petco. The class at this time may be seated as we prepare to announce the names of the graduating seniors. I would like to remind our guests in the stands that everyone is to remain seated until the conclusion of the program. A professional photographer has been contracted to take a color photograph of your graduate at the moment the diploma is presented. In 10 days, you will receive a color proof through the mail. Please cooperate with us and let us have an enjoyable, disruption-free conclusion to this commencement ceremony. Thank you. At this time, Mr. Eby will read the names of the students who are the academic top 10 as they rank in the class of 1994. Then he will read in alphabetical order the first half of the graduating class. Mr. Tobolsky will follow alphabetically with the names of the second half of our graduating class. The diplomas will be presented to our graduates by our school board of trustees. At this time, Mr. Eby.
David William Bottorff. Richard Leroy Shoesmith. Laura Marie Hildreth. Carrie Lindsay Stone. Sarah Michelle Unruh. Jennifer L. Lewicki. Carrie Lynn Stebbins. Holly D. Armstrong. Lori Ann Carnes. Suzanne Lynn Sikowski. Amy Beth Ackley. Heather Ann Addington. Jessica Lynn Allison. Amy Jo Ankrum. Jennifer Lynn Arnett. David D. Atkinson. Rebecca Lynn Baer. Brandon John Balbo. Dawn L. Ballantyne. Brian Scott Barber. John P. Bonney. Julie D. Brackeville. Kimberly K. Brayton. Tara R. Brewer. Jaden Joseph Brown. Chad Allen Brew. Lori Lynn Bryant. Michael John Belting. Tanya Ann Bunch. William Henry Berszewski. Aaron Michael Burris. Michael Brandon Burdett. Jerry Walter Burks Jr. Christopher S. Bush. Chad L. Butchko. Berta Gonzalez Cabello. Susan H. Kakowski. Kevin A. Canute. Corey Carrico. Chad M. Cave. John D. Clark. Elaine M. Clayton. Eric R. Clayton. Elena Sue Cockey. Jolene K. Cockey. Laura Marie Cohen. Carrie Lee Conway. Charles Richard Carell. Rodney Jason Cox. Laura Michelle Craig. Jamie Farah Krieger. Nicole Christine Cruz. Dawn Marie Cullen. Laura Ann Culver. Katrina Ann Cutbirth. Lisa Marie Dolan. Toby Jade Deal. Amy Ann DeBroca. Ryan Matthew Decker. Timothy James DeCook. Eric John Demeter. Jennifer Lynn DeMilliner. Jessica Lee Densmore. Brad M. DeVault. Kelly Ray Diaper. Scott Brian Dozel. Katina Janelle Drake. Kara Christine Dragons. Amy Lynn Duvall. Susan A. Dyer. Seth W. Easterday. Treff Suzanne Edelman. Sabrina Ellenberger. Theodore Anthony Klazinski Eli. Tammy Michelle Emmerich. Matthew John Evans. Tom Evans Jr. Michael David Faxon. Kimberly Janine Phelps. Lisa Lynn Fenters. Faith Marie Fields. Laura C. Fleming. Jason Fowler. Jessica Tennille Fozo. Leonard C. Franklin. Jennifer Jo Free. Monty Alonzo Fries. Tracy Lynn Fritz. Dawn Lynette Gales. Stephen Allen Gamble. Michael Scott Garrett. Angela K. Genesi. David Patrick Gillum. Michael A. Glasgow. John Joseph Gleisner. Jack David Goins. Mary McLean Gorney. Kevin Lawrence Gradeless. Corrine Goldia Renner. Timothy E. Brock. Christopher David Grossnickel. Carla Michelle Hall. Kimberly Ann Halderman. Robert Michael Hart. Julie Trina Marie Hensel. Karen D. Hested. John Michael Hicks. Randall J. Huffer. Eric Anthony Holmes. Jenny L. Holt. Andrew Richard Hoof. Melissa K. Horvath. Betty Ann Hostetler. Doreen K. Howard. Tiffany L. Howard. Carrie Lynn Holland. Benjamin Thomas Hubbard. Stephanie J. Hubler. Jason Matthew Hummel. Tracy Renee Hunter. Bruce T. Hupp. Mandy A. Hutchison. Joshua B. Hyde. Courtney J. Hyde. Christopher J. Jacobson. Susan K. Johns Derrickson. Patrick O. Kaiser. David Joseph Kaplaczynski. Lori Jean Kidder. David Michael Keefe. Bobby G. King Jr. Tricia Nicole Kissel. Michelle Lynn Kloppenstein. Aaron Michael Cobb. At this time, Assistant Principal Mr. Mark Tobalski will recognize the remainder of our 1994 graduation class.
Carrie Ann Kuntz. Pamela Jean Craigle. Scott Joseph Kring. Julie Lynn Cromwitter. Leonard Cool. Megan Ann Labonte. Angela Marie LaFuchsia. Sean T. Lang. Daniel Thomas Lowecki. Aaron Paul Baktansky. Danielle Renee Lehner. Tabia Larsh. Brent Lidgard. Sherelle Rosita Ligon. Roger P. Lovett Jr. Michael E. Lauer. Ryan A. Lusher. Jennifer Malkowitz. Julie D. Marshall. William P. Mason, Jr. Rachel Aaron Mast. Matthew D. Major. Tracy Lynn Mendenhall. Amy Irene Mestock. Jason Patrick Metcalf. Christopher L. Miluski. Brian Robert Miller. Kimberly D. Minnick. Robert J. Modis. Regina L. Monar. Jamie Lynn Moore. Heidi Morehouse. Carrie Lynn Morris. Chad Aaron Muncie. Marsha Marie Nelson. Tim Michael Nemeth. Cheryl Lynn Newcomer. Timothy E. O'Hara. Jeremy Michael Paget. Frank S. Payano. Stacy Ann Parakowski. Michael Allen Peck. Stephanie Lynn Pemberton. Wendy Michelle Perez. Ernesto Ferrancello. Linda Peterson. Anthony Scott Phoebus. Jessica Marie Pittenger. Jeremiah David Pittman. Cynthia Joy Porter. Frank Joseph Paswushny III. Lori Ann Powell. Melinda A. Pregel. Rebecca Pretty. Michael L. Quiros. Heather Lynn Ragsdale. Robert K. Rail III. Christine Diane Redmond. Michael K. Redmond. George E. Reith. Karen Ann Roberts. Marina Roberts. Katie Lynn Robinson. Donald Benjamin Rosenbaum. Michelle Lynn Rozo. Adam Martin Rudloff. Rachel Leela Ruley. Michael John Rupchak. Jeffrey Michael Sabi. Juan A. Salamanca. Joey R. Sandifer. Sarah Monica Santiago. Beatrice Santos. Neil David Scheibelhut. Jason Schrader. Nathan Joe Scott. Dawn Marie Sherrill. Jason M. Sherrill. Brenda Marie Shields. Jessica Lynn Schroff. Jessica Lynn Signorino. Kimberly Ann Simmerman. Ahmed Simon. Jamie Simus. David Smith. Jared David Smith. Laura Lee Dawn Smith. Vera Sosa. Tiffany Marie Soul. Chanel Elisa Sowers. Gregory Allen Stanridge. Colleen Marie Stopper. Jolene Ann Stopper. Michael David Stefaniak. Georgia Marie Stevenson. Suzette M. Stevenson. Shane R. Stickler. Angela Marie Stilson. Ashley Danae Stone. Sean L. Stewart. Joseph D. Swayze. Stacy Ann Sweeney. Christy Lynn Swisher. Elizabeth Marie Teller. Heidi Nell Tuggerson. Chad E. Thomas. Christina Lynn Thomas. Justin Lewis Thompson. Kane Michael Thompson. Shannon K. Thompson. Jeffrey Scott Tibbs. Tatum Suzanne Tolbert. William James Toots. Jennifer Colleen Townsend. Naluhoi Tuiono. Jeremy J. Vance. Jacob R. Vogel. Michael J. Vogler. David Joseph Vorty. Don T. Vu. Kiet Vu. David Wahlberg. Timothy Paul Wallace. Jeremy John Watford. Ryan Joseph Watson. Kelly Ann Watts. Joseph Paul Joseph Wiesner. Danielle Marie Wilder. Beth Renee Wood. Jason D. Wright. Tara Denise Yates. Christopher Allen Young. Michelle Lee Young. Michael A. Youngs. And Christine Zender.
At this time, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Batagianis, the Board of School Trustees, our commencement speaker, Mr. Rick Miller. I don't think the crowd is responding well to taking that beach ball away. Once again, I'd like to thank these people. I'd like to thank Dr. Batagianis and the School Board of Trustees, our commencement speaker, Rick Miller, our students who spoke or who will speak, David Bodorf, Richard Shoesmith, Laura Hildreth, Carrie Stone, administrators that helped out, Mr. Eby and Mr. Tobalski, for their contributions today. I would also like to thank Mr. Cecil and Mr. Long. You and your talented musical groups are to be commended for your fine performances. In keeping with another tradition established more than 60 years ago, I'd like to thank the 4 outstanding juniors who assisted with commencement today. Both individuals who led the processional, Lee Gill and Don Heron. Both young men who acted as ushers, Todd DeCook and Jeremy Miller. Thank you all. Our commencement program will conclude with 2 final addresses. Our valedictory addresses this afternoon, and those will be presented by our co-valedictorians, David Bodorf, son of Richard and Sheila Bodorf, and Richard Shoesmith, son of Bernard and Barbara Shoesmith. At this time, if we could have David and Richard.
You know something? As I look out upon this crowd of 287 seniors, sitting there in their maroon and white gowns, one issue stands out in my mind, which I feel needs to be addressed. What's up with these hats? Who came up with the idea to put a square piece of cardboard on somebody's beanie? Well, regardless of their origins, these hats have come to be a symbol of celebration. So, I think it's only appropriate that today I speak a little bit about celebration. After all, that's what we're here for, isn't it? To celebrate? To throw a big old party because we managed to get through 4 years of high school and live to tell the tale? That's what I was led to believe anyway. Okay. We are here in order to celebrate a very special moment in our lives and in our families' lives. We are now Mishawaka High School graduates. But we shouldn't stop celebrating as soon as this ceremony is over, or even as soon as this day is over. I know some people are planning to make celebration their primary objective for the rest of the week. But I'm not talking about celebrating a specific event or occasion. I'm talking about celebrating every single day of your life. Celebrate just because you're alive, because you can run or sing or read or breathe. Celebrate the perfect blue of a summer sky. Celebrate the fact that you've learned something new, or the cool feel of the breeze through your hair, although we could probably do with a little less of that today. You don't need a special reason. You don't need a cause. Just celebrate living. Take a walk, hug a friend, tell a joke. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just make every day as special in its own way as today is. Make everything you do as full of excitement and anticipation, and you'll be surprised at how fulfilling life can be. When everything you do is a celebration of life, you discover that your life suddenly becomes a celebration. It's not always easy to do, but it's worth it. And to anyone who at least tries, my hat's off to you. Congratulations, class of 94, and good luck!
I'm going to be very brief today because I know that you all want to get right to the picture taking. Us graduates want to get a real diploma. I don't know how many of you went to the baccalaureate service earlier this morning, but if you didn't go, you missed an excellent service. A lot of work went into that, and I think it shows a lot about the character and integrity, and a lot about the priorities of this class. To the class of 1994, I only have one thing to say. Good luck, and God bless you all.